Hey, boys and girls, Cursed Curator again with some more art content. And, this lovely year is 1939. Tons of lovely content to do. So we have free paintings and free sculptures today. Our first one up is Put Down Your Whip. It is by the artist Zhu Bihong, and is, of course, an oil painting. It was completed during Zhu's stay in Singapore. The painting was exhibited numerous times before its disappearance from public view in 1954. It reemerged in 2007 and was sold for HK 72 million, which I believe is Hong Kong money, which translates to US $9.2 million in an auction on the 7th of April 2007 in Hong Kong. It even record for the highest price paid for a Chinese painting at auction. It is currently displayed in the National Gallery, Singapore. Okay, creation. In October 1939, during a stay in Singapore, Zhu Bihong was inspired by a street drama performance titled Put Down Your Whip by actress Wang Yang. A friend of the artist, written by Chen Liting, based on a play by Tian Han, the drama depicts a girl and her father who escaped from the Japanese-occupied northeast China and performed in the streets for a living. They sang about hardship under the Japanese occupation and inspired their listeners to support the anti-Japanese war movement. Deeply moved by the drama, Zhu spent 10 days painting a life-size portrait of Wang with her audience in the background. He then titled the painting Put Down Your Whip after the drama. Interesting. After Zhu's death. The painting was exhibited on numerous occasions during Zhu's life. However, it disappeared from public view in 1954. A year after Zhu's death, according to Sotheby's Asia chairman Patty Wong, Zhu gave a painting to a close friend named Huang Mengyu. After Huang's death, his descendants approached the National Museum of Singapore in the hope that the museum could take the painting into its collection, but it did not happen for unspecified reasons. Huang's descendants then approached the Singaporean collector Tan Shi Shore, but Tan died abruptly before a deal was made. The painting eventually landed in the hands of an anonymous Asian collector until being put up for auction in 2007. Jeez, this thing was kind of cursed on that, I guess. Auction. Put Down Your Whip was sold on the 7th of April 2007 in an auction in Hong Kong by Sotheby for HK 72 million, which is, of course, as I said before, 9.2 million US dollars, setting a record for the highest price ever paid for a Chinese painting in an auction. The painting was brought by an anonymous collector over via telephone after competition from at least 4 other bidders. In response to the auction, some art historians have criticized the explosion in prices for Asian art. In particular, over exuberant buyers for sending sky-high. Subi Asia chairman Patty Wong, however, responded stating that Zhu Put Down Your Whip would have sold well in any market. And by looking at it right now, yes, this is beautiful. This would have easily sold. I almost want to make this my thumbnail for this video. So, first and foremost, China is something that we don't get to see much of, especially China before the communists took over. So this is, before them, which is pretty intriguing. I believe during this time period, the communists were still cordoned off to a single area, that whole province or multiple provinces, like up in the north region, kind of. But seeing this, wow, she looks damn beautiful. You got the kids and the adults in the background. This is a soldier, obviously. Guy with his little pipe, little kid. These two little blurred out kids. Oh, man. Got a little doggy there, too. But I believe this captures, first and foremost, I imagine when they were making this, well, the fellow was Zhu. He was I imagine he wasn't actually painting it during like real time, maybe like he wasn't doing that. He was just going with pure memory. At least I imagine that's how it was going, because she wasn't just sitting there the entire time while he was painting. That'd be silly. Um, I say this, but tons of art pieces have been like that. But I love how they capture her body and especially her clothing. This feels very traditional, and I like that. Overall, I think this is like one of my favorite pieces I've seen thus far, especially from an Asian artist. We have not, at least from my memory here, we've not seen a single Asian artist like for a painting, not a actor or actress. Of course, that's a little different, but still art, of course. Sorry, I required some water there, but I'll let this over there because I actually want to use that. for the thumbnail. Okay, I'm butcher this, so please stick with me here. Escogidoras de Café, which means coffee pickers. It's 1939. Is a painting by the Ecuadorian social realist artist Alba Carreron. In this charcoal colored painting, peasants are toiling on a coffee plantation, overseen by a majordomo with a sheep machete. The peasants' faces are not shown or are covered by sombreros. Okay, this is a bit of a stub, so a lot of the information here is not there. But the art piece is still here, so we can get a good look. So it's clear that somebody grabbed their phone, took a little quick pic, and left. That's what I get from this. I wish it was a higher quality, but we go with what we got here. What I do like about this is, it shows off obviously a different period when, people were made to go out and, do this type of activity, which I'm saying that like it's not still a thing now. People still do this. But I imagine it's not anywhere near as brutal as it was back then. Because this guy literally did a machete. He's only to kill them, they don't do their work. Sweatshops exist and they're bad. Oh boy. Overall, from at least what I can tell, I wish it was again higher quality. The line work is really good. This lady, I love the contrast between so there's two greens here. There's her green, with her outfit, and there's actual green of the plants. You can tell they're two different things, which is good. So few artists I've seen, of course, amateurs, not big name ones like this. They can't really contrast too well. Of course, it takes time and effort and practice. Overall, I dig this. I kind of like the message going on here that these are nameless folk. These are people who are just workers. They are faceless, and they're all part of this whole social contract going on that they're being forced to work in a coffee plantation. And it does set a real important message how we should go beyond this. This should not be a thing in our society, or any society, really. But let's go on to our next one. This one's intriguing. I actually really loved this one. I am very tempted to make that also my thumbnail. It is Chateau en Aspégion, which means palace in Spain. It is an oil on canvas painting made by the Dutchman Karel Willink. Willink? I hope I said that right. Willink. In 1939. It depicts dark clouds over a landscape with a ruined villa and a statue of Apollo. It was influenced by the works by Giorgio di Chirico and have been interpreted as a comment to the Spanish Civil War. It is in the collection of excuse me. It is in the collection of Museum Arnhem in Arnhem, the Netherlands. Ferdinand Bodewijk used the painting as the basis for a prose poem published in 1940. Ooh. Would you guys be intrigued or interested by me doing poems on the channel? I kind of want to cover poems one day. It will help me with my speech, and I'm hoping it'll be interesting. You know what? I might do that next week. It could be a little fun thing. Chateau en Espion, I probably said that so wrong, was painted in oil on canvas and has the dimensions 97 cm by 121 cm, or rather 38 inches by 48 inches. It depicts dark, threatening clouds over a French landscape. A large smoke pillar is prominent in the sky, but its source is hidden behind the horizon. In the background, to the left, is a ruined villa, illuminated by the sun. In the foreground is a balcony with a classical statue of the god Apollo. Two statues... the statue. My cursor was covering it. The statue is the Apollo Bedivere. It was painted from a photograph Karel Willink had taken of a replica at the Palace of Versailles. The building was based on sketches Willink had made during his travels. The title, Chateau en Espion, literally means castle in Spain, and is the French equivalent to the expression castle in the air. That is, a fancy or promise with no ground in reality. Analysis and reception. Like many of Willink's paintings, Chateau Espion was inspired by the metaphysical paintings of Giorgio di Chirico. The influence can be seen in its depictions of a mysteriously desolate building with classical architecture, in distinct contrast between light and darkness. André Glavisman wrote in S. Fields Gellerstritt Manschrift in 1940. But the heavy smoke in the horizon is reminiscent of Johann Patinero's paintings, and this almost become a cliche in Willenek's works. Because of the title, the painting was understood at the time as a comment on the ongoing Spanish Civil War. Retrospectively, it has been interpreted as infestating World War II. Glavesman interpreted its fiery motif as an anticipation of a new and better world. He's rated among Willenek's more innovative paintings, which combine skilled painting, balance in the conception of the work, and an approach to classicism that creates a sense of simplicity, grandeur, and familiarity. According to Glavesman, this managed to create a completely pictorial solution for the most intense inner tensions. According to the descriptions from the Museum Ardenheim, which owns the painting, the dark clouds connect the painting's elements and create a theme of contrast between life and death and wealth and decline. The Dutch writer Ferdinand Borjewijk based a prose poem on Chateau en Spion, or Espion, I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry. It was published in the book Die Kordenkrupp in 1940s. As Chateau en Espion, not as C. Willink, the poem describes the painting escalates a contrast between decay and harmony, represented by the house and the statue. It mentions an approaching storm. In 2005, the literary scholar Matthias Sanders connected these themes to the cultural pessimism of Oswald Spengler in Johann Huizinga, and to Menino Terbraak. Defense of Willenek's as an Apollyon painter in whom the content has been absorbed into form, so that someone who unhopefully wants to separate the content from the form will encounter emptiness and rhetoric. Okay. Ooh, this one's okay, that's fine. It's a little smaller and the quality ain't as great. That's okay. Okay. Let's see here. I really love the clouds. Well, it's obviously the smoke column, obviously, but I love the messaging here. It's obviously the decline of this fancy home, the chateau, and of course we have Apollo here. And think about classicism. The art of it. I love it, and it really reminds me of DC. Whenever I see this type of architecture, really. I also love the idea, of course, we're taking the idea that obviously there's two ways to perceive this from the time period. Obviously, it was the Spanish Civil War, or it's the upcoming World War II. And I feel like it's more fitting to be aligned to Spanish Civil War. Considering where France is located, it's obviously not, like these mountains are not from, the Rhineland, where Germany is. It's not in Alsace-Lorraine. It is obviously, towards a more Spanish region where the border of France and Spain meets, and I feel like it's more fitting to be the Spanish Civil War. But it's however you wish to interpret it, of course. But overall, I think this is a really lovely painting. Makes me wonder if there's a high quality image of this somewhere else, but we do. So now we're on to the sculptures. We have 3 lovely sculptures for us today, and the first one up is Baghera Fountain. Baghera Fountain is a 1939 fountain by Lillian Swan Surian, installed in the Boston Public Garden in the United States, state of Massachusetts. The U.S. state of Massachusetts. I'll get it right one of these days. Description and history. Inspired by Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book in 1894. The fountain features a bronze sculpture of a mountain lion and an owl, measuring approximately 32 by 16 by 16 inches. The statue rests on a polished granite base that is approximately 57 inches tall and has a diameter of 60 inches. The fountain was surveyed as a part of the Smithsonian Institution's Save the Outdoor Sculpture program in 1993. Okay, let's get a good look at this bad boy. I like the imagery going on here of a lion trying to strike an owl. And I almost wish we could see it from the other angle going on here. See more of the lion's face. Because how I interpret it is that, it's obviously the lion hitting the owl. But I could be dead wrong here. And if you didn't know, copper obviously it appears brown, but as time goes on, due to being exposed to the air, it oxidizes. I believe that's how it works, and it goes from from brown to, well, green. That's how we have a Statue of Liberty being so green instead of being its original brown. Um, Makes me wonder how it did look at back then. Obviously, there's still some brown here. It's not completely oxidized yet. I think that's the word. I think that's the word. Oxidized copper. Okay, I was saying that right. Cool. Overall, I dig it. Of course, I've seen a Jungle Book, the movie. I don't know how similar it is to the actual book. I hope similar enough. Next up is the Guardian of Water. The Guardian of Water is a 1939 fountain and sculpture by Donald Horde. Installed outside the San Diego County Administration Center in the United States, the U.S. state of California, the statue was dedicated on June 10th, 1939. In 1960, a replica of the fountain and sculpture was sent as a gift to San Diego's sister city of Yokohama by the San Diego Yokohama Friendship Commission. It stands by the waterfront in Yokohama Yosemite Park. I said that also wrong. Let's see this bad boy. Oh, that's actually beautiful. So, well, I don't particularly care for California that much. I have always admired. I've admired to hell the architecture going on there. And I feel like the statue really blends in with the actual building in the background. It just fits. And, there's a way we can take this. Obviously, there's some imagery going on inside the actual statue's base here, inside the fountain. And, of course, I believe it's a woman, here going for the land, carrying water to provide for greenery and the trees. And I think a fountain is a really good, representation of that. The people can come to the water. Obviously you aren't drinking the damn fountain water, but you could if you wanted to. You might get sick, probably. That's how I'm taking it. Let's see our last one. Peace and Harvest. Peace and Harvest are two 8-foot, or rather 2.4-meter tall limestone statues in downtown Peoria, Illinois, United States. The male and female figures represent peace and harvest, respectively. The statues were sculpted by Chicagoan Mary Anderson Clark, born in 1910, and formerly of Peoria, as part of a Works Progress Administration federal art project, and were added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1988. The statues, created in 1938 and 1939, were dedicated on September 3rd, 1939, in front of the Peoria Municipal. I cannot pronounce this word. I never could. Municipal. Nah, whatever. Tuberculosis Sanitarium, just north of the current Forest Park Nature Center, and stood at the site until the sanitarium closed in 1975. They then moved to Peoria Courthouse Plaza from 1975 to 1988, then stored in a Peoria firehouse until 1992, causing them to briefly lose their National Register status. In June 1992, the statues were placed at their current site in front of Becker Building at the corner of Jefferson and Main Street. So I'm only seeing this here. Maybe they're like back to back, or it's a weird thing going here where it's one statue and two. I'm not sure how to take it, but yeah, this is clearly the male with the broad square shoulders as a dove. I guess he represents harvest, perhaps. Oh wait, no, peace, because dove stands for peace. Okay, I forgot for a whole second there. Plus, it's more fitting for the woman to be harvest more than anything, I suppose. Overall, I think the person that did this, they did a damn good job. I do wonder, what happened here with the hair? Like maybe this is a hat, over his head, to protect him from the sunlight a bit. Because it's kind of weird how it is right here. Clearly, it's like something going down towards more of his forehead here. And over here, there's a thing going on, like this way. But I mean, I dig it. It could use maybe a little bit of a restoration, but overall, it's still pretty damn fine. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is a bit more relaxed today, and I'm hoping on Friday we'll have a very lovely set of magazines to cover. Yes, you heard me right. I'm covering more than one magazine for that day. I'll be doing probably two in one video. Or, well, I won't be doing that because that'll be a lot of work. But because I'm lazy. I'll probably do 2 magazines that day. It'll be a 2 video uh, type of deal. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe for more, and peace.